Welcome to Module 1.3, Principles of Data Protection. In this module, we will explore the 7 fundamental principles of GDPR, which serve as the foundation for responsible and lawful data processing. These principles establish clear expectations for organizations, ensuring that personal data is handled fairly, transparently, and securely. They apply at every stage of the data lifecycle, from the moment data is collected to when it is stored, used, and eventually disposed of. By following these principles, organizations can ensure compliance, maintain accountability, and build trust with individuals whose data they process. Throughout this section, we will break down each of the 7 principles, discussing their importance and how they should be implemented in practice. Let's get started. These are the 7 fundamental principles of GDPR. We will discuss each principle in detail. The first principle of GDPR: lawfulness, fairness, and transparency. This principle ensures that personal data is processed legally, ethically, and with full clarity for the individuals concerned. First, let's look at lawfulness. Under GDPR, data can only be processed if there is a valid legal basis. This includes explicit consent, contract necessity, legal obligations, protection of vital interests, public tasks, or legitimate interests. These legal grounds ensure that organizations have clear justification for handling personal data. Next, we have fairness. Data must be collected and used in ways that individuals would reasonably expect. It should not be processed in a manner that could mislead, harm, or disadvantage the data subject. Finally, transparency plays a crucial role in establishing trust. Organizations must clearly communicate why they collect data, how they intend to use it, and how long they will keep it. This information should be easily accessible, concise, and understandable, ensuring that individuals are fully informed about how their data is being handled. By following this principle, organizations can protect individuals' rights, ensure compliance, and build trust in their data protection practices. The second principle is purpose limitation. This principle ensures that personal data is only used for the specific reason it was collected and is not repurposed for unrelated activities. When an organization collects personal data, it must be clear and transparent about its intended use. Data cannot be processed for a new purpose unless the individual gives additional consent or another legal justification applies. For example, if a company collects a customer's email address for marketing communications, that data cannot be shared with third parties for advertising unless the individual has explicitly agreed to it. Purpose limitation prevents organizations from exploiting personal data, ensuring that individuals retain control over how their information is used. It also reinforces data minimization. Organizations should only collect and store what is necessary for their stated objectives. By adhering to this principle, businesses can maintain ethical data practices, protect privacy, and build trust with their customers and stakeholders. Principle 3 is data minimization. This principle ensures that organizations only collect and process the personal data that is strictly necessary for a specific purpose. The goal of data minimization is to limit unnecessary data collection, reducing risks associated with data breaches, unauthorized access, and compliance burdens. To comply, organizations must carefully assess what information is truly needed and eliminate any excessive or irrelevant data. For example, if a company asks customers to sign up for a newsletter, it typically only needs an email address. Asking for a home address or phone number without a clear reason would violate this principle. By following data minimization, organizations can enhance security, build trust with users, and simplify data management. Ultimately, less data means fewer risks and stronger compliance with GDPR regulations. Accuracy. This principle ensures that personal data is correct, complete, and up to date, as inaccurate data can lead to serious consequences for individuals and businesses. Organizations must take reasonable steps to verify and maintain accurate records. If data changes or errors are identified, they should be corrected without delay. This is particularly important for sectors like finance, healthcare, and insurance, where incorrect data could negatively impact an individual's access to services. For example, a health insurance provider that keeps customer medical records must ensure that any updates to a patient's health history are accurately reflected in their database. If records are outdated, it could lead to incorrect coverage or denied medical claims, affecting the individual's well-being. The accuracy principle also supports data minimization by collecting only what is necessary and ensuring it is accurate. Organizations can improve efficiency, compliance, and trust in their data processing. By enforcing accuracy, organizations reduce risks, enhance decision-making, and ensure fair treatment of individuals under GDPR. Principle 5. Data retention and storage limitation. This principle focuses on ensuring that personal data is not kept for longer than necessary. Under the GDPR, organizations are required to retain personal data only for as long as it is needed for the specific purpose for which it was collected. Once that purpose is fulfilled or the data is no longer relevant, it must be securely deleted or anonymized. This reduces the risk of unauthorized access or misuse over time. Retention periods can vary depending on the purpose. For example, purchase records might need to be stored for a certain period to handle returns or comply with legal obligations. However, they shouldn't be kept indefinitely without justification. To comply with this principle, organizations must develop and enforce clear data retention policies. These should define exactly how long different types of personal data are kept and include automated processes for deletion or anonymization where appropriate. By following this principle, organizations not only reduce data security risks, but also build greater trust with customers by showing a commitment to responsible data handling. Principle 6 of GDPR: integrity, confidentiality, and security. This principle ensures that personal data is protected against unauthorized access, loss, or alteration, maintaining its confidentiality and integrity. To comply with this requirement, organizations must implement appropriate security measures. These include encryption and pseudonymization to protect sensitive data, access controls that restrict who can view and process data, regular security audits to identify and fix vulnerabilities, employee training to ensure staff understand and follow data protection policies. The level of security required depends on how sensitive the data is and the potential risks involved. For example, highly sensitive information, like medical records or financial data, should have stronger encryption and stricter access controls than less critical data. By embedding robust security practices, organizations can prevent data breaches, build trust with individuals, and demonstrate compliance with GDPR's legal requirements. Ultimately, this principle reinforces that data protection is not just about collecting and storing information, it's about ensuring that it remains safe and secure at all times. The last principle, 7, accountability. This principle ensures that organizations not only comply with GDPR, but also demonstrate that they are meeting their obligations. To be accountable, organizations must implement clear policies and procedures for data protection, ensuring that personal data is handled securely and lawfully. This includes conducting data protection impact assessments, DPIAs, to identify and mitigate risks, keeping records of processing activities, and appointing a data protection officer DPO if required. Accountability also involves continuous monitoring and auditing of data processing activities to detect and address potential risks of non-compliance. This proactive approach helps organizations to maintain GDPR compliance, minimize legal risks, and prevent reputational damage. By following the accountability principle, businesses strengthen trust and transparency, demonstrating to customers, employees, and regulators that they take data protection seriously.